So interference of wave, and Young's double slit experiment. Okay, interference of waves. Let's see. You see, Thomas Young, I have already discussed about you Thomas Young. What he did, he took two waves. Okay, now he set up an apparatus something like this. These are two screens. These are, I'll draw the circuit diagram like this way first. You see, this is a cardboard. Cardboard or anything, we create two rectangular slits like this. Okay, they are separated by a distance d, and before that also we have one more slit. What is the purpose of this? We will explain you. We have one more slit here, exactly at the center. Understand? And at a certain distance d, we have a screen. It can be very far. It can be very far, or it can be close. Thing is that we have a screen there, like this. Okay?
Yes.
Now, what we see is that we will keep a light source here, maybe a candle, or maybe a light source, monochromatic light source. Monochromatic means single color light source. It can be red laser. Generally we do with the red laser only. In physics lab I do this with red laser. So then what will happen is that we know this slit will act as a single source of light. It will give ripples. It will produce ripples like this. Right? This ripple will fall on these two slits. These two slits will act as coherent sources. Now what are coherent sources? Two sources are said to be coherent if their frequency, amplitude, phase, everything is same. Then we will call two sources to be identical or coherent. Okay? Okay, we will write about that. I will give you the definition after I finish this. Right now you know what are the coherent sources. Now you cannot prepare coherent sources from two identical sources. You cannot. You may manufacture it industrially by many ways, but you cannot prepare it. You cannot create it exactly identical. How accurately you produce it, you can never. Okay? So the best way to create coherent sources is to use a single source of light and break it into two different sources. So this is what we are doing here. Okay? Now when we do this, we will see something interesting happening on the screen. We will see that there is I will show you I'm only going to draw the dark ones. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You'll see something like this on the screen. There is one dark band. Then again there is a dark band. There is a dark band. Dark band. You will see this on the screen. If this is red color, you will see this red. This region is dark. This would be red. This would be black, dark, red,
Okay.
black, dark, red, and so on. We call this thing as fringes. What do you call it? These things are collectively called fringes.
Fringes. Dark and light fringes.
Dark, bright and dark fringes. They are called
Bright.
fringes. This distance is known as, we have a character D, capital D, to denote this as a screen distance. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is the plane of the screen. Plane of the source, light source. And this is the plane of the screen. This distance is known as small d. Okay? That is the slit width. So d is the slit width. Okay? And capital D is the screen separation, the screen distance from the,
Screen.
from where? From the plane of the slit. Let us see now what is happening here. Okay? So one thing we know, according to Huygens principle, this S1 and S2 acting as what? Source of disturbances.
Source of light.
Or source of disturbances, right? Secondary wavelengths. Correct? So they are giving out ripples. So if I draw this diagram properly, I'll draw this diagram once again later. For now, you see, if I draw it like this, let's say first, this is the first ripple produced. This is another one. With the time it is growing. So it has grown here. This also with time it has grown here. Then again it has grown here. Again, this one also has grown. Then again this is growing. Here also I will make it grow. Similarly here. Okay? Like this way here also. And it keeps going like this, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, interesting, you see, I'm not drawing all of them, I'm just going to draw now. So there will be this way, there will be this one, there will be this one, all like this, right? Now, interesting, you see, these are the points which is we are interested. These are the point where what will happen? Either crest and crest will fall, or crest or trough will fall, right? So whenever crest and crest will fall, what will happen? We're going to see a constructive interference, means there will be a bright maxima, bright fringe. They are also called maxima, by the way. Okay, we're going to see a maxima,
Bright, sir.
bright image, bright light. Whenever crest and crest fall, and whenever crest and trough fall, we will see a darkness. That is called destructive interference, or we're going to have a minima. Correct? So in fact, it is something like this. If this is one wave, and look at this point here, this point, let's say this is another wave. Here also a crest is falling like this. This is going way, that way. Okay? So this point will jump up as a result. So this point will go up here. Imagine this on water.
Okay.
And if this thing happens, and here I see, guess what will happen here? Destructive. So Imagine you have kept I'm showing I want you to imagine this with a water wave. You have placed a toy here,
Mm-hmm.
and every time the wave at that point is falling like this only, then interestingly you will see this toy is at rest.
Stood.
The toy is at rest. It is not vibrating. However, if you keep the toy here, suddenly you will see it's going up.
Yeah.
Because, and this is what you see when you drop a toy on a water flow over water, you will see it vibrates, no, it floats.
Mm-hmm.
When in the form of when the waves are traveling through the over the water, ripples are traveling over the water, you see it is vibrating like this. How is it vibrating? It is vibrating because of this way, right? Let us do the analytical treatment so you understand. So I'm explaining you is that this is Young's double slit experiment. And not only that, let me show you the animation, then it will get much more clear. Let me show you the animation. Let us go to Young's double slit experiment. So which one you want to see? We can use this one. Let us use this one. Credit to Tom Walls. So you see, if I let us animate it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see? Ripples are traveling.
Yes, sir.
Now look at these cases. Look at these cases here. All these lines you see. This is not so good here. This one. I will show you the other way around. Maybe this one. I have made one. Where is my one? I don't know. Mine one is also there. Start. Ripples. Expanding. This is the point. It's a central maxima.
Yes, sir.
And what about this case?
So which one will be minimum?
This one will be maxima.
This is central.
So
Yeah,
first order
this
maxima. This is the maxima. At this point you see always what is happening. Crest and trough and crest and crest.
So
Here is
these three
these dotted lines. These dotted lines.
points.
These dotted lines. 3 points. This is the central maxima. This is the crest and crest. Crest and crest. So we see maxima. Right? Now let me increase the wavelength and see what happened. If I decrease the wavelength, you see they will be close.
Okay.
This will be seeing when you are treating with different red color, blue, white, green, blue color, or all those. Okay. And if I increase the wavelength, for example, red light wavelength is long, so the fringe width will be the central width maximas will be width of the fringes will be very width will be quite thick also. So this is what you see is getting thick. All these things we are going to do now mathematical treatment to understand it now. Okay. All these things we mathematically will treat it to understand. Now this is the one. Now let us see this in practical. Let us see. As I don't have physics lab with me, but I will show you Young's double slit experiment. I will show you some MIT videos. Probably don't see anything else. They are monetizing this thing, but the MITs were the real actual ones. Where are the MIT videos? I have kept somewhere. Let me go to YouTube. Just hold on. I'll show you one video. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Young's double slit experiment. Young Young's double slit experiment. Here it is. Now this is the one I carry out in my lab only, physics lab. This is the one, but where is that? MIT. I'll get it somewhere. I think this is the one. No. Where is that video? It's excellent short video. I think this is done by whom? Where is that? You can. This is the one? No. Yeah, I think this one. Yeah, very old. Everyone has copied from here. Whoever in the YouTube is there, it has been taken from here. This is, you can see the year is this is very old video. Look at this picture now. So this is a laser now which has come to a very small, but this is a laser source.
2012
So here they are using a
red
light, monochromatic light, red laser. Now let it explain. There you see, there are slits here. He's controlling the slit, okay, slit width. There, can you see the pattern there on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the pattern?
Mm-hmm.
So this is central max. This is one. This is a central one.
Central maximum.
The another maxima.
Mm-hmm.
Another one. Then it fades out. This is actually diffraction is also taking place. That is so small. Now there is one more of this where you'll use the green light. Another also to explain. This is actually Fraunhofer diffraction, but okay. This
So
is
how does those?
this is Fraunhofer. Sorry, it is Fraunhofer diffraction. Sorry. Fraunhofer diffraction. No, not Fraunhofer diffraction. We're going to see the Young's double slit experiment. I think I'll have to go by this one only, or the. No, not this. Most probably this one. Yes, yeah. This is the one we generally carry out in physics lab. You see, he's using green laser. I use red laser because then it is quite.
So you do this whole experiment?
Yes. You see, I just showed first. I demonstrate this thing in lab. Then I will. My students find out the width of the central maxima, width of the minimas, and they compare it. Can you see? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Here I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one.
Right, sir.
This is the video. Yeah. Look. This is the exact setup. Instead of this, I'm using some other kind of laser, but this is the slit. Look at on the screen. Look on the screen. Now they are going to increase the slit width. Gradually they are going to increase. There you see. There. This is. They will show you diffraction and interference. Right now you are looking at diffraction. This is diffraction. I'll come to that diffraction. Diffraction I'll come. Okay? Slit with increasing and decreasing. Okay, this is diffraction. I think interference will also be there. Now pinhole diffractions, yellow laser. But those lines, it is also one case of interference only. Okay?
Double slit.
Now different width. You'll refer this video later to check how the width varies. Fringe widths. Look, I told you wavelength long, fringe width will be long. Central maxima will be long. When I do the mathematical treatment, you come back to this video to see whether our math equation are right or wrong.
Correct.
Now you see these things.
Yes, sir.
Within the central maxima, there are bright and dark fringes. Alternating bright and dark fringes. What are these? These are interference.
In between the maxima.
This is here. Yeah, it is. Now they are using very sensitive instruments to see. Okay, but we can also show simple interference also. Simple interference like this one. Like it is actually a cause of interference only. What that diffraction is also happening because of interference only at the very macroscopic level. Okay, but we say that is bend around corners. Okay, so at sharp edges. That is what you see. Now you can see here. In this case, there are bright dark fringes within a oval shape. No, that is the maxima, secondary maxima of diffraction. Don't think about that right now. You pay attention that there are alternating dark and bright fringes. This is happening because of interference. Young's double slit experiment. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now here is another example. You can see, I think they will perform here in the water wave. You see, they're explaining what is happening here and so on. Let's see, where is it? Here. This is they are using. What do you see? This is not a monochromatic light.
Yes, sir.
This is not a monochromatic light. This is a white light. Now here you see. Here. Look at the ripples. Can you see this region?
Yes, sir. Central maximum.
No, these are completely empty. These are minimas.
No, those are minimas.
These are maximas.
Oh, the down.
These are maximas. This portion you see
These are minimas.
completely stable. No,
Mm-hmm.
completely stable. The water in this region is completely stable. These are two sources. Look, this will be even better. Completely stable, right? Completely stable. This is destructive interference. But at this point, these are constructive interference.
Constructive interference.
Okay? Now let us see the analytical treatment. Analytical treatment, okay? Let this be there. Let me clean this side. So, analytical treatment of Young's double slit experiment. This is Young's double slit experiment. So, Young's
So is there anything else to write after interference of waves except for the definition?
no, right now you don't need to this. Young double slit experiment, you know what is it. You don't need to write it.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Now here you're going to do this thing you have to do. So consider two waves. Y1 equals to A and Y2 equals to sine omega t plus phi. These are what kind of wave? Coming coherent. You see, amplitude is same. Means these are the wave I am talking about. The one which is coming from S1 and S2. Right? So according to superposition principle, okay, the total displacement at any point y would be equal to y1 plus y2 vector addition. So this one should be a sine omega t plus a sine omega t plus phi. I am doing the easy one. I will also do the tough one also in terms of intensity. Now a sine omega t plus a sine omega t cos phi plus a sine phi cos omega t. From where did I get this equation? This is sine a plus b formula. So it is sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. Clear? So y will be now. So these are the two waves which are getting added up. Now when they add up, the resultant disturbance at a point should also be expressed in this in the form of this equation. It has to be. Okay? Resultant disturbance at any point should also be a wave only. So for example, at this point, it should also be a wave only. You know, waves
Yes.
are going like this way, no?
Mm-hmm.
So this should also be a wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let us establish that wave equation now. So what are you going to do now? You see a sine omega t, a sine omega, a sine omega t. I can take common. So a sine omega t, if I take common, what do I get? 1 plus cos phi. Plus, here we have cos omega t done. Clear?
So,
Now let 1 plus, no, not 1, a 1 plus cos phi equal to r cos theta. Now you said, why you are doing this, sir? You will see. And a sin phi is equal to r sin theta. So if I do like this, what am I going to get? Y equal to this one and this one goes. I'm going to get here r
yes.
cos theta
Cos theta.
sin omega t plus a sin phi goes. I get here r sin theta cos omega t. Now isn't this same? Sin a, I can again write this as what? R sin omega t plus theta.
Mm-hmm.
Back to that relation. What is R? Now we need to find where R is the amplitude of the resulting wave at a point, right? Now this one will be either maxima or minima. Now let us take this 2. Let me name this as equation 1. This is 2, this is 3, and let's say this is 4. So squaring and adding 2 and 3, what will I get? A square 1 plus cos phi whole square plus a square sin square phi equal to r square. You must be knowing cos square theta plus sin square theta equals to how much? 1. You know that?
Yes, sir.
If you don't know, you know it. So then I will
Yes,
break
I
this.
find.
A square
Sorry, what did you say? A square plus 1 plus cos phi square
1 plus
a
cos phi whole
square.
square plus a square sin square phi. This one, this 2, and this one, 2 and 3, squaring and adding.
Mhm.
So if I do this, I get here 1, I will write it directly. So this one would be a square plus a square cos square phi plus 2a cos phi plus a square sin square phi, right? Equal to r square. Now what you can do? You can write this as what? Just a minute. This would also be a square. Okay. And here I can take a square common. So this is a square. You can see again this one I take common, it will give me a square only. Because sin square phi by cos square phi will be 1. So this give me a square plus 2a square cos phi equal to r square. I will write properly. So r square will give me 2a square plus 2a square cos phi. Then I will take 2a square common out, 1 plus cos phi. Now there is a relation. 1 plus cos phi is equal to 2 cos square phi by 2. This is a trigonometric identity. So if I do here, I get 2a square dot 2 cos square phi by 2. This is r square. Correct? Got it? So
Yes.
r will give me what? 2a cos of phi by 2. This is the resulting amplitude. This is the resultant amplitude. Right?
Yes, sir.
So
This is
Correct? Now, for R equals to R max, that is for constructive interference, that is for R equals to R max is for constructive interference, cos phi by 2 must be equals to 1. And when do you think it will be 1? Cos will be 1 at where? It will be 1 at 0. It will be 1 at 2 pi. It will be 1 at 4 pi and so on, right? So we can write this at, it would be 1 at cos of 0, cos of 2 pi, cos of 4 pi and so on, right? In short, I can write cos phi by 2 should be equals to cos of n pi. Okay, cancel it. So phi by 2 should be equal to n pi, right? Now wait a minute. Now there's a famous relation between, I'm writing on the side note, relation between phase difference and path difference. And path difference, phi equals to 2 pi by lambda into x. You can see where this is from yesterday's. I have taught you this yesterday. That it was rotating. This is also rotating. Remember?
okay.
From there we are getting this. We have to manipulate a little bit to get this equation. So then I'm going to get this here. Phi equals to 2n pi, and then 2 pi by lambda is equal to 2n pi x. What is x? X is the path difference. So what is path difference? I'll explain this. So then x is equal to 2 pi cancel. I'll get here x equals to n lambda. What is n? Where n is
Lambda.
and so on. 0, 1, 2. No, not 0. Yeah, n would be 0. 2 got already cancelled. So 0, 1, 2 and so on. Actually it is 0, not 0, 1. 1, 2 and so on. Okay? So whenever the path difference, this is one wave, this is one wave, this is the slit,
Second slit.
this is the second slit. You see this wave has to cover, this wave has to cover an extra distance x.
Yes, sir.
This is called path difference.
Oh.
So whenever the wave path difference is lambda, for example 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, you are going to get a bright fringe here. Anywhere on the screen, wherever it's going to be lambda, between the two waves, we are going to get what? Bright fringe. When n equals to 0, when n equals to 0 means what? Central maximum. The central bright spot.
It is central.
Central bright spot. Okay, now again, when r equals to r mean means 2a cos of, sorry, it is 2a, no? Okay, r equals to r mean, when it would be mean, minimum? When will it be minimum?
So what have you written, sir?
R equals to r mean, for r equals to r mean, that is for destructive interference, what will you do? Article charge means that is for destructive interference. Again, we have to come back to this. Cos phi by 2 must be equals to 0. When will be 0? It will be 0 at 90 degree, first 90. It will be 0 at not second 90, it will be 0 at third 90. It will be 0 again at 490, no. Fifth 90, yes.
Yes.
590 by 2, it will be again 0 at 6, no. It will be again at 7 pi by 2. So let us write it. Cos of what? Pi by 2 or cos of 3 pi by 2, so on. So then we can generalize it like this. Cos of 5 by 2 should be equals to cos of 2n. Now you can write this series as plus 1 or minus 1. I'm going to write this as plus 1 pi by 2. Means if n equals to 0, then we get as pi by 2. 0, 1, 2 and so on. Right? Then again do like that. Cos get cancelled. So 5 by 2 must be equals to 2n plus 1 pi by 2. So again 2 get cancelled. So 2 pi by lambda x is equal to 2n plus 1 pi. Pi out. What do I get? X should be equals to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. This is the condition for destructive interference. This is the condition for destructive interference. Okay? This is the condition for destructive. So whenever, in this case, R will be 0. Whenever this happens, you are going to get what? You are going to get a maxima or a minima. Okay?
So how destructive will get minimum?
Yes.
Min maximum.
No, destructive minima, no? Destructive interference. You will get a destructive interference. Means there will be a dark fringe. So you write whenever the path difference is 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, there will be a dark fringe on the screen. There will be a dark fringe on the screen.
So whenever the path difference is?
Path difference is 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, there will be a dark fringe on the screen.
There will be a
dark fringe on the screen.
Fringe on the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
So can you just take back to the first part when we were finding the superposition, the total displacement, just that part sequence. Before squaring, what? One minute, I just need to take.
Okay?
So and then what's the written the last line, sir? So where R is the amplitude of the resulting wave after
Resulting at the where?
So slightly down where R is the slightly more.
Up.
So a little more, no sir, no, down sir. So a little more.
Oh, where R is the amplitude
yeah,
resulting wave at up point.
At a point, okay. Yes, it does.
Okay? So, understood?
Yes, sir.
So this one you have to do. This is the analytical treatment of Young's double slit experiment. Now I will be doing this again. We'll have to. It is again a long lengthy class in terms of intensity. This has to be done in terms of intensity. This one we have done in case of taking displacement equation. These are the two waves displacement. Consider two displacement equation. These are the displacement equation. As I am referring class 11 here. So this is the displacement equation. Now we will be doing the same thing in terms of intensity. But this time the amplitude will not be same. That means they are not coherent sources. They are incoherent sources. Incoherent sources. So incoherent sources are where the amplitude, frequency, they are not same. So amplitude will be different. Then we will see what happened to the intensity. Okay? Because when you use incoherent sources, coherent sources is a case of incoherent sources. But before I do that,
is the case of incoherent.
because if the amplitude becomes same, frequency becomes same, then intensity will become uniform. No, maths will consider, then you will see.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you please practice this thoroughly.
Okay.
So they will give you the derive the condition for constructive interference and destructive interference, or write the equation for constructive and this is the equation for constructive and destructive interference. This is the equation of destructive and constructive and destructive interference. The answer script which I sent you, you see many students have derived this.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, only one more derivation. Diffraction, there is no derivation. Polarization, also no derivation. This is the only one. One more with the intensity.
In derivation, sir.
Yeah, only one more derivation from interference. Oh no, one more is there. Slit width is there. Slit width. What is not what I'm saying. Not slit width. Fringe width.
Fringe width.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So